time. It's time for the Cummins Real Estate Group show with the one and only Michele Cummins and, of course, myself, Curtis Pope. Good morning, Michele.
Good morning, Curtis. How is everything?
Everything is grand. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Excellent. It was a busy week, I guess, for you in the real estate world?
Yes, busy. It seems like that's been just the way life has been since I can remember.
Yeah, that's very true. You're always on the run, I tell you. I mean, it seems like you're going 24/7.
Yes, it's true. But you know what? It's all fun. I love it. It's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt. Luckily, nobody's been hurt.
You've been good to go so far.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love what I do. And, you know, when you have that kind of work ethic, you don't mind. And luckily, I have and I'm blessed with family who supports what I do. So it's wonderful. That's what like everyone would want. And so it's been really, really good. My clients are amazing. My employees are amazing. I really, really appreciate my life and everyone in it. So very thankful.
You know, it's interesting. You mentioned the term work ethic there, because work ethic is something I was talking with my kids the other day, because you can probably remember, because, us Generation Xers were kind of given a bit of a bad rap by the baby boomers many years ago that we were lazy and we had no work ethic and, compared to them and their parents and whatnot. But now we look at these younger generations and, man, we have a great work ethic.
Isn't it true? Like, it's amazing what a decade can do and how it changes. No wonder everyone said, they have a thing for each decade for the people in it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when we maybe, perhaps, I was definitely not the most motivated teenager when it came to getting a job, as most teenagers aren't. But once, I got into the workforce and got into radio, for example, I'm, knock on wood, I'm coming up to 21 years without a sick day.
Wow, that is amazing. And even during COVID.
Yes, well, it's been a scary year, let me tell you. This is not what I want to ruin my streak. And it's a silly streak, I get it. It's not like there's a prize at the end. But, it's one of those things where as it's gone on, it's been like, okay, this is kind of cool.
There should be a prize for that. I think there should be like a pin, kind of like a 5-year pin that you get, when you're at a company, a 10-year pin. You should get something. Yeah,
early on, my wife would be like, okay, come on, you're sick. Don't go to work. Now she's like, you know what? If you can get there, the streak's still going. Keep it going.
You both have that competitive edge.
Yeah, there's a couple times where I've been sent home because I've lost my voice, but I've still had to put in 4 or 5 hours before they've sent me home.
Oh, my. Well, you lost your voice because you talk a lot.
Well, it's part of the job. It's an occupational hazard, much like it would be for you, too.
I guess so. No, I like listening better.
I don't know about that.
Oh, come on. It's because I'm on, like, a talk show with you is why I talk a lot.
And I also seem to recall that you told me a story about losing your voice, too, so.
Yes, it's happened a couple times. But that's when I'm singing really loud and, like, all during a party, and then the next day I wake up without a voice.
And then Richard goes, it's going to be a good day. Because that's what my wife does. When I've lost my voice, she said it was a couple days of just bliss.
Oh.
So quiet around the house suddenly.
So I wanted to talk about what we're going to talk about later. I should probably mention it's actually regarding mortgage deferral, and anybody who's done mortgage deferral, if the expiry is coming up or it has come up, what that looks like and what it may look like for you and for the Canadian economy and for our local like real estate listings and sales, and what is it going to look like? Is there going to be a lot of foreclosures? What's going to happen? So we're going to talk about that a little later in the show. But I wanted to ask you about Valentine's, because last weekend I took Richard out to a local, very beautiful, romantic place called Rowena's Inn on the river in Harrison Mills, and it was beautiful. Oh my gosh, the chef is amazing, the food is amazing, and the experience is amazing. I guess they have these once a month where they bring a special chef in and they do it, but I didn't know about it. But I saw this Valentine's, ad or something. It was emailed, and I'm like, oh, that sounds so great. So that's what we did last Valentine's. It was a lot of fun because we haven't been out like that in a really long time. So.
That's very cool. Yeah, I've heard that's very nice there. I actually haven't been there. I'm going to have to take Kelly out there at some point.
Yes. Oh, you should, definitely.
Yeah, no, we just had a kind of a quiet night at home. We watched, Kelly picked a rom-com because she loves rom-coms, so that was the perfect night to watch one. And we watched some TV. We had a nice dinner. The kids kind of kept coming and going and kind of, ruined it. But hey, that's what you get when you're living with 3 teenagers.
That's what you get. Kids will be kids.
Exactly.
So the other night, I was dreaming, as we humans sometimes do, and you'll never believe what I dreamed.
No, I probably won't. So what do you got?
I dreamt that Chip and Joanne Gaines came into Canada.
Well, it's only a matter of time.
It is. Now it's proven. I mean, dreams come true, right?
Exactly. And considering how cold it is down in Texas right now, I'm sure they're more acclimated to it now and they can come up here and handle the winter.
Exactly. Can you believe the snow there right now? It's crazy.
Well, I can believe it, but I'm sure the Texans can't believe it.
I know. It's pretty amazing seeing all their Instagram posts and everyone going crazy like, oh, my gosh, what is this white stuff?
Yeah, I mean, they might get a dusting of snow now and then, but I can't recall Texas getting hit like this.
Yeah, I don't either. It's amazing. Hey, if you have time later today, I actually have a real estate segment coming up on TV at noon on City TV Vancouver. It's the Mark and Mandy Show, and I talk about actually just getting ready to sell. Like, I gave tips for preparing how to sell and make sure, it works. And it's good for buyers and sellers. So, yeah, if you want to go on, if you have TV and cable, I mean, it's a segment coming up. And I actually am going to post it afterwards. I got my other segments on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. So if you go on there, and be sure to subscribe because you don't want to miss out on all the great real estate advice and tips and fun stuff that I put up there and our stats every month.
I noticed that you don't have your co-host on there with you.
Well, that's got to change, like ASAP.
No, I have a face for radio. I get that. This is what I do.
Well, that's going to change soon here. We're gonna make that change and make that shift.
Oh, they're going to need a lot of makeup. I'll tell you that now.
No. Well, I got the makeup for you.
Maybe they can get a stand-in, somebody to stand in for me, and I'll just, they can, lip sync to what I'm saying in the background out of the shot.
Oh, sure.
What's Brad Pitt doing these days? You think he's busy?
No stand-in for you, Curtis. There's only one Curtis.
Yeah, thankfully. Well, that's very cool. Okay, so the show's coming up at noon today.
Yeah, so keep an eye or watch it. Yeah, it's a great little segment. Actually, we aired it. It was filmed inside the Supernatural trailer that we have. So we have the Supernatural Impala behind me and all the paraphernalia in the trailer that's from the show, and it's called the Baby Hauler. So this trailer, it was fun to film in, but they've used it for 15 years hauling around the Supernatural cars for the show. So that's where I aired it or filmed it. It was filmed in. And actually, I talk about the different local areas and why it's great to live here as well. So really cool little segment. But also, I wanted to mention, you'll never believe this, because remember that thing, that goal that every month I'm like, I'm going to get this done and I'm going to get it off my list of the to-dos, and I never do. And it's been, since I moved here. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Your walk-in closet?
Yes.
You finally got your walk-in closet set up?
Actually, I'm working on it right now. I finally said, Michelle, you're not doing it. You're going to have to hire somebody to do it because, it has to get done. So I finally am getting it done. And I actually hired Dayton from Zenday Design and Contracting. They do, kitchen cabinets, really lots of woodworking. And I know them through real estate clients, and I'm like, I just, what? I need to hire somebody, so I'm going to call Dayton. So him and his wife, Des, are amazing. They came in and made it so quick and efficient, and he did the measurements, and they came up with, actually, I had a design I thought of, and I actually had previously measured it and stuff, but they came up with ideas that I didn't think of that I absolutely love. And he's coming next week, and he's going to install it all. He's already ordered it, and it's like so quick, and it's going to be done next week. And I'm so excited. And he's such fair on pricing too. And I'm so glad that it's getting done. So I'll let you know when it's finished. I'll post the photos, of course.
Well, that's, it's been a long time coming. So, looking forward. And think of all the clothes you're going to find that you have that you forgot you had.
I know. They're piled up, and I'm so excited. So I probably am going to have to wash everything all over again. And then I'll probably end up getting rid of everything because it's all passé or, old, right?
Well, no, because you got to hang on to it long enough that it'll come back in style.
That's true, because everything comes back around, every 10 or 20 years.
If I would have kept my clothes from high school, I would have 3 kids that would be very happy right now, because that's pretty much what the kids are wearing these days.
You're right, totally.
I watch my kids with their high top runners, their skinny jeans. I'm like, yeah, that's what I wore in high school. And they go, no. And I go, yeah.
Yeah, believe it. They showed me photos, and they said, you're right.
Yeah. And, lots of, plaid and flannel shirts. Oh, we're getting into the grunge look now. I did that, too.
It's a good look.
Everything is old is new again, right?
That's so right. Okay, the other thing that I had done this week that I'm pretty proud of, because it also has been 3 years, it's really exciting. I got my septic pumped out.
That's ever so exciting.
I know. There's weird things in our lives that make us feel good, right?
Well, I was going to say, we've done entire shows on the importance of getting your septic tank pumped out now and then.
Yes, well, it's been 3 years for us, so I figure, there's only 2 of us in here, but, maybe it's time. They say every 3 to 5 years. It's good to have it pumped out. So I actually had Colin from Palm Trees Septic Services. He came out and did it. He did it when we first moved here. He was referred to me by the company who was actually Earth Sciences, Ron. He was actually inspecting the septic for me, and then he was the one who referred Colin. So this is the second time he's been out. He did such a great job. He's very quick, he's so nice. It's such a trusting. He's a good guy. So I just wanted to mention that too, as a local business and service provider whom I had a good experience with. I wanted to share him with everyone as well. So if you need your septic pumped out, if you need septic installations done, they do that. And they also do excavating. So,
all right. Very good to know. All right. So now it's about time we got to take a break here, which we'll do. And then we'll come back and we'll get right into this week's topic.
Sounds great.
If people want more information about what you do as a realtor, though, where can they go?
MichelleCummins.ca.
We're back with more right after this. Segment number 2 of the Cummins Real Estate Group show with Michelle 1L Cummins, no G, and myself, Curtis Pope, which is spelled the way it sounds. So you were talking about getting the septic tank pumped out, because why not? Why wouldn't we talk about that?
Exactly. I mean, it's a topic everyone has to talk about at some point.
But it is something, it's an important thing to talk about in a way, because there is things you need to have done around the home and around the house. And if you have a service provider that's great, you do kind of want to share that, right?
It's so true. And the more we share about great service providers and local businesses and good things that are happening, share more positive recommendations and everything. Some people are really quick to get online and, say maybe some bad stuff, but get online and say some, and tell your friends and family, and just shout it to the rooftops when you got something good that happens in your life, and you meet somebody that does a good job, because, service, customer service nowadays, it's not like what it used to be. So it really, you stand out when you do a good job. So Well, have you discovered any new recent good service providers yourself, Curtis?
Well, there's been a couple. I mean, I would say that through the whole process of buying and selling my home, I was referred by a couple people, including yourself, to Simpson Notaries, and they made everything so easy, and it was like a one-stop shop, and I liked everything. They took care of it. They did an amazing job.
They are good. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And it's got a location in Abbotsford and Chilliwack.
Yeah, and went in there and just and everything was there. All the paperwork for the bank, everything. So it was just, they made everything so much easier.
Quick and efficient. Richard wrote that Notary song. It's called Notary.
Right.
And we actually sent it to Simpson Notaries to say, hey, I just wanted to share this with you. And they got a hoot out of it.
No, that was really good. And I mean, it's not a service provider in a home sense, but I have to say a local shout out to the local ice cream place that opened up in the last year here in Abbotsford. Mm-hmm. Banter Ice Cream makes some of the most amazing ice cream, and the staff there are so friendly and everything. It's just amazing. I
have never been there.
Well, they have a cinnamon toast crunch ice cream.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so good.
So it's the breakfast cereal, but it is so amazing. It's hard to believe, and I guess it was going to be a seasonal one of their ice creams, but in fact they make that a regular one because it's so popular.
So do they only carry ice cream there?
They make their own ice cream there.
Ooh, do they have, what do you call it, that, do they have like yogurt as well and other options?
I believe they, you know what, that's a good question. I've only ordered ice cream there. I think they just have ice cream, but they do have like options, like they have like vegan ice cream and things like that as well.
And it's called Banter, B-A-N.
Yes, Banter, B-A-N-T-R-E-R. And it's just right in downtown Abbey in the old library there.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'm definitely checking them out this week.
Yeah,
and having some of that ice cream.
Yeah, that cinnamon toast crunch ice cream it's ridiculous. It's so good.
Oh, it sounds really good, even though it's still kind of winter. But spring is, just starting to show signs of spring I see out there. So maybe we'll get warmer here sooner than later, hopefully.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
So
but ice cream is good any time.
Exactly. Ice cream is a comfort food in my world, that's for sure. So
mine too.
Now we have to get into, I guess, this week's subject. And so what are we talking about again?
Yeah. Okay. So we are going to talk about the mortgage deferral. A lot of people have had to do that. There's like billions of monthly mortgages that have actually been deferred. It's huge. It's a lot of people have taken the banks up, the government up on this deferral program that they've offered. But what happens when your mortgage payments go into errors, or like when it expires? Because they allowed it for 6 months. They did an extension. Some you could apply for an extension, some people, but some banks, did they give you an extension? Did they not? When are most of these going to come up for expiry? And will these homeowners be able to make future payments? And a lot of people don't know, what does it look like on my credit rating? So in this market that we're in, it's such a great seller's market. And a lot of people are thinking, well, let's sell. Maybe they did lose their job. Maybe, some changes have happened in their lives and they are wanting to use this opportunity to sell. But then when they go to sell, are they going to pay cash for their next property? And if so, what does that look like? Where do they have to buy? Where are they willing to move to? Or can they actually get pre-approved for another mortgage? Well, if you've done the mortgage deferral and it's come up for expiry, can you get pre-approved? What does that look like? Speak to your bank about that. And they do want to keep the economy going, but there is, certain things they cannot do. So just be prepared and be ready if you're one of those. So the mortgage lender can foreclose. These are some of the things that could happen, right? If you miss even one payment, the mortgage lender can foreclose on the property. So this is just a fancy way of saying that the lender can sue the homeowner for possession of the property and the mortgage payment it's owed. This is a time-consuming process where the courts get involved. If the lender ends up selling your property, you're left with nothing. Although there is still a window of opportunity to stop the foreclosure process if you're able to come up with the money you owe. But you don't want it to get to that point, please. So before that happens, before you miss one payment, if you think you're going to miss a payment, call a real estate professional. if you're local, call me, please, and I can help you. And there is so much equity built up. Why lose everything you worked so hard for? Just don't let it happen. There can be depression. You could freeze. A lot of, stress causes us humans to kind of freeze up, and then our minds are blocked and we don't know what to do. But just don't, if you're going to miss a payment, call a real estate professional, and we can walk through the process and give you some options and work with you to make sure you don't lose your home and everything you worked for. Second option that may happen is a power of sale. So this is when your mortgage lender sells your home without taking possession of it. This is most often the option chosen by lenders, since it tends to be a lot less time-consuming and less costly than foreclosure. It doesn't need to involve the courts. Under this option, you may still get some money if there's money left after paying your lender and any other debt you owe. So those are a couple options, but the best option, honestly, is definitely to call a real estate provider and just see the signs on the wall, and if you're going to miss a payment, and if you can't get pre-approved, you really need somebody at your back, somebody to support you, to help you, to guide you, to hold your hand and give you that confidence that this is going to be okay. The deferrals, you still have to pay everything that you were supposed to pay, and interest is still being built up. So, now your interest is being built up on the, let's say, 6 months that you deferred. Normally when you pay, and especially if you pay every couple of weeks or every week, your interest is only on the remaining balance of what you owe, right? So your interest is lower and lower every time you make a payment. But if you defer, it builds up that interest a lot more. So there's a lot more you're going to be paying because you will owe them all those months back. So that is some just heads up and advice. And the other thing is, last week we talked about how immigration is going to start growing again as borders lighten up. And because we had talked about, Hong Kong and immigration and what's happening there. But on the other side of what I feel is going to keep the market strong, besides just low interest rates, is I do foresee some listings coming up for people who may be in a tough situation, and they do need to sell before they do miss a payment. So I do feel that because they've been expiring, they only, you could defer for 6 months. Maybe you can get that extension, but that extension is coming up in March, maybe June then for an extension. But come summertime, I feel we're going to start seeing new listings, which is going to, I think, balance out the market a little bit more. I don't think it's going to be so much a seller's market. It might still be a seller's market, but I just don't think it's going to be as crazy as it is right now. So that's just my take on the near future of our real estate market.
Well, it makes sense when you think about it, because you're looking at all the elements that could come into play here, and I see where your train of thought is there, and yeah, you're right. And I imagine another effect of that, I was reading something the other day about how there's an expected run possibly on townhomes and condos in the valley, because people are going to be selling homes. They're going to have some money left over, and then they're going to be downsizing and buying those.
That is so true, too. Thanks for sharing that. Absolutely. And talking about listings, I got a new one that's coming up. It's actually a 6,000 square foot corner lot on Tanaka Terrace. I love that name. In Mission. It hits the market Tuesday. It's a little over 2,000 square feet of living space. It's a basement entry home on a corner lot, fully fenced yard, 4-bedroom home. It's 3 bedrooms up with 2 full bathrooms and a walkout basement with 1 bathroom, a rec room, and another bedroom. So it's really easy to suite. All you need is a kitchen. The asking price on that is $799. So that's the new listing coming up. That you get a preview of it. And the quote for the week. Okay, last week, Curtis, you thought my quote was from the great Sir Paul McCartney. And so I thought I would share one of his quotes this week. And since we just celebrated Valentine's last weekend, I thought this was perfect. In the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make.
Very true.
Share the love.
Very, very cool. All right. Now, if people are looking for more information, or maybe they want to get some advice on you about possible deferrals, or maybe they've had the deferrals go through and they need that advice, where can they go?
MichelleCummins.ca.
And make sure you join us again next week when once again we will talk real estate in order to unlock your real estate potential on a show where real estate is maximized. Thanks for listening.